This is CNN Breaking News.
You know, every once in a while you have to report something that you thought would be the worst thing that could happen, and it was going to happen, and now it has. Singer Whitney Houston, one of the greatest voices of our generation, CNN has gotten confirmation from her representative, has died. Whitney Houston has died. Grammy-winning entertainer, 48 years old. You know, Whitney was a young entertainer. Back in the 80s, she came of age with pop hits, and then went on to fame with a movie, with a Bodyguard, and then did a remake of Dolly Parton's song, I Will Always Love You. It rose to the top of the charts. So we are just getting confirmation now, and it is sad news, and we're going to continue with this breaking news as long as we can here. But the singer Whitney Houston, 48 years old, and really, it is one of the greatest voices of all time. You see her there with recording extraordinaire Clive Davis, who handled her career so deftly for a long time and brought her back a number of times, tried to bring her back and tried to guide her, but Whitney, as we know, had a battle with drugs, to her own admission, alcohol to her own admission, and we know that famous quote from that ABC Diane Sawyer interview, crack is whack. When Diane asked her if she had an issue with crack cocaine, she said she made too much money to do crack cocaine, and she had an issue with cocaine. That's according to Whitney Houston. Again, Whitney Houston, 48 years old. She has died. We've just learned from her representative, who is Kristen Foster, confirming that now. We had been seeing the reports coming in from the internet, and CNN wanted to get it confirmed, because when you report something like this, you want to be absolutely sure. Whitney Houston, again, had a string of hits. She hit the Billboard 100, Saving All My Love for You. Remember that? The young Whitney Houston. How Will I Know? That was back in the 80s. The Greatest Love of All. I Want to Dance with Somebody. All these songs I remember when I was a kid, when I was at college. I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me. Loves Me. Didn't We Almost Have It All? So Emotional. I Get So Emotional, Baby. We remember all of that. Where Do Broken Hearts Go? And you can just go on and on and on with Whitney Houston songs. How many times she hit #1, how many times she hit the Billboard 100, the Billboard Top 5. But it is a really sad evening, I have to say, to announce this. And we at all, everybody, I think, because Whitney was so talented, we had hoped that she could pull it together at some point. And we don't know the cause of death yet. It has not been confirmed. But we had hoped that Whitney would pull it together. Okay, I'm just getting guidance from our producers here. So we're going to talk to our Larry King, who has interviewed Whitney before, in just a minute here. But Whitney had her issues, and we would hope that she would bounce back from those addiction issues that she had, and that she would become the great artist that she once was. And it never did happen. It never did happen, no matter how many times we had hoped. And we weren't sure if, you know, as we were looking from afar, if they were trying too hard and she was singing too much, and she would come out with the hoarse voice. But she never did pull it together at the end. And we know that she was married to Bobby Brown, and they had that reality show for a while, which was really just a strange television. And we saw Whitney at her worst in that moment. But we have seen her a lot at her best, and she's looking great in the video that we have now up, her and Clive Davis here. Larry, you have interviewed Whitney Houston, and you know what I'm saying is true. I'm not lying about it. We were hoping that she would get it back. We don't know the cause of death, but man, what a sad night.
Yeah, it's really sad. And it's tonight is Clive Davis's huge Grammy party, which he has every year on the eve of the Grammys, and I'm going with my wife, Sean, and we just heard the news, and that's going to put a great pall on this party. Clive was so close to her, discovered her, literally helped make her a star. In fact, last year, the year before, Whitney was his surprise guest, and she sang at this event tonight. It's going to be a strange occasion. I liked her a lot. I liked her as a person. I thought she was a gamer. I thought she was an incredible talent. I don't like to presume what she died of, but I'm sure everybody's guessing that.
And you know, Larry, as I remember when she did that, and I remember when she came back and she had this latest album that came out, I guess just over a year ago. And I remember she went to, I think it was Australia. She did the European tour, and then she went to Australia as well on the last tour. And she was singing so much, and she had gotten hoarse, and she really could not pull it off. And that video, went viral. Like, what is going on with Whitney Houston? But many people said, "Hey, I kind of expected this to happen." We didn't want it to happen. But can you talk about some of the trials and tribulations that she went through?
Yeah, Don, there's a lot of other voices coming in at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I can hear you clearly, Larry.
I don't know what that is. You know what it reminds me of, Don? Is Judy Garland, who also, I believe, was 48 years old, who had this up-and-down career and who fell victim to, she fell victim to drugs and lost her life in London. After a comeback, a downside and a comeback, I compare her to Judy Garland. I also compare her as an artist to Judy Garland.
Yeah, Judy Garland, had one of the greatest voices ever.
Oh, yeah.
And you could,
so did Whitney Houston.
Yeah, and you could see in both. That's a good comparison because you could hear in their voices really what they had experienced in their lives whenever they sang a note, and that was part of the draw.